What is going on, PastaGamers, YouTubers, and video gamers all over? This is the Pastafarian Gamer, and today I want to talk to you guys a little bit about um, video game collector's editions, limited editions. These have become kind of like this norm now, that you pay the extra bucks and you get these collector's editions. Are they really worth the money that you're spending for it? I mean, it is our money that we're working. We work for this money. We go out, you get the regular version, which is something like, 70, $80, and you get these collector's editions, which are like, 100, 120 bucks. But what's in it? Are you really getting what's worth inside the game in these collector's edition? So I just want to start off by showing you guys, a couple of these collector's editions that just recently came out. So here we have the Forza 7. It comes in a steel book. This is, by the way, the norm now for the collector's edition that you're getting. We have, of course, Shadow of War. Again, just a recent game that came out, and it has this is the collector's edition that you get. Um, couple of stuff that came out a little while back. Here is the Hitman one. It comes in a very nice steel book. If you open it up, you get, you get the Hitman guy, and here he is on the back of it. So you get these pretty nice steel books, and here's one for Injustice. These usually run for about 110 to $120 plus tax. So I mean, you're coughing up quite some bucks. This is the Gears of 4 steel book. It's not bad. It's got a pretty cool design. Um, and they are limited. They are collector's items because sometimes once you buy these things, you can't buy them again, and they go up in value. Here's one for Gran Turismo Sport, which is one of the more recent ones that just came out a week ago. So here is the question: this $120, this $130 that you guys are spending, what are you really getting? Is it worth the money that you're spending for these games? So let's have a look at Shadow of War. Shadow of War, which I bought here in Canada. It was about $120 plus tax. So for this, I got the expansion pack that comes with it, and a war chest that gives me some additional stuff. Now, the expansion pack, it doesn't really say exactly. There's some sort of story expansions that are coming out. Um, there's some sort of Nemesis characters. So, I mean, we're getting some content, a couple of hours worth of content here. And if you're wondering, this is what the Shadow of War Steelbook looks like when you open it up. It looks like this. So it's it's not bad for the $120 that I paid for this. I'm getting something that's worth the money. That it's not just two or three things. There's just a couple of story expansions. I just read out that uh, it's actually a couple of hours worth of stuff. So um, that wasn't too bad. I actually believe that this was worth the money that I paid for. Let's go on to something a little bit different. This is the Injustice 2 Collector's Edition. If you open it up, you do get Batman and Superman, respectively. If you have played the game, you'll know why they're wearing these specific costumes. For this that I got the entire DLC characters, which is worth about $30. For this one, also, I paid about $130, which is the norm here in Canada. And if you are in the States, it's about 110 bucks. Other countries, the UK, I believe it's about 89 euros or so. So I got all six DLC character, or sorry, it's more than six actually, but it's every single DLC character that's coming out. Um, I think it's actually around 12 characters in total, if I'm correct. So the extra $30 basically gets me, 8 to 12 characters, fully playable characters, and I pay $30. That's not bad. I mean, to me, that is actually, that's worth the money that I spent here because if you think you buy the game for about $90, you have to spend um, around 30, 40 bucks to get the extra characters. So the 130 I paid, I got this, the steel case, which I like. I like steel cases. I'm a steel case guy, steel books, whatever you want to call them. They're limited runs. So you get, the extra stuff and you get the characters. So I think, this was money well spent. Um, let's move on to Hitman. Hitman is another one. The game it comes with it's the entire first season. So if you weren't sure, Hitman was released as a sort of every episodic, which a lot of fans didn't really like. This one, believe it or not, it came in the Steelbook as a standard version. Cost a regular $79.99. And on the cover here, I'm just looking at the front. It says it has some extra contracts. So the steelbook is limited. Um, so it's just and it has three bonus missions. I actually haven't had a chance to play it, so this is what you get when you go out and pay the money for it. So to me, 79.99 gets me the full game. It gets this nice steel book. It gets, a couple of extra stuff. That's actually pretty good. That's the company not milking the product for extra stuff. Now, of course, it's different. Every company has different standards. Game costs different money, and production values. So I can understand when sometimes some games, the special collector's edition, might cost a little more or less. So, or but it's just the way it is. These people have to make back their money. However, obviously, when you go out and you pay the extra money, it's got to be worth your money. I mean, to pay an extra 30, $40 for something, it's not, it doesn't, it's not going to do you justice if you really don't get anything. And we'll get into that in a bit with something else. But I just want to, this is the Forza Motorsport Limited Edition. Um, it's it comes with obviously the game. This is what it looks like when you open it up. Sorry, here's a better view. So you got the Porsche on the front. On the inside, you got a bunch of classic cars. You get the game and the DLC that's included in this is a season pack, and it came with a couple of extra cars and so on. The cars that I got were inspired from Fast and the Furious. Not exactly, my type of, an expansion that I would pay extra money for. I actually should have read up on exactly what I was getting for this. So but unfortunately, I didn't. So I went out and I bought this. It's not a regret purchase. I I like the game. I like the steelbook. I still think for the dollar value that you're paying, you're getting something out of it. I just think, a bunch of cars inspired by Fast and the Furious. I mean, who really cares? I mean, they're just the same cars that are available in the game. I believe so because the game does have 700 cars. So I mean, you were not. It's nothing exemplary here. It's nothing big difference. Um, back to, for example, so here's the Gears of War. The Gears of War came with a whole bunch of, you get, first of all, you get the original Gears games for free as a digital download. Um, and you get the season pass inside. This one, again, about $130. So, it is the Ultimate Edition. That is the norm price you're going to be paying. It's got the season pass inside. I'm just giving you guys this sort of information also that if you decide to go out and pay the money for this, um, is it worth the money? Is it really, some people don't know what they're really getting and they just don't want to go out. So something like this could be beneficial for you guys to get an understanding of, why is it that companies are selling these, collector's editions? Is it milking? Sure. I mean, let's be perfectly honest. They could give this stuff to us for free, but you don't make money without making money by getting people to spend some money. So that is how it is. It works. This is the world we live in. Um, Nothing is free, unfortunately. You do have to pay. Um, but in terms of this, the season pass that includes some campaign add-ons for uh, Gears of War. It's not bad. Again, I believe this one was about 110 bucks. It could have been 129. I can't remember. But this to me was worth the money that I spent. Um, Shadow of Mordor. Again, the expansions. Nothing has come out yet because it's a brand new game. But in terms of what is available. It will be pretty interesting to see some campaign add-ons, things like that. I'm definitely, very, very interested to see what sort of campaigns. And these are supposed to be lengthy. So again, it's, the company, some companies, when they go out and they get you to purchase this, they really want the money that you're spending to be worth the dollars that you spent, the extra dollars. I mean, with the world that we live in and with things like the internet, companies are prone to, people's opinions, and that's not what they want. They don't want negative opinions. They want um, full positive opinions from you, the consumer, to go out and buy. So, they want, their collector's editions, their limited editions to have some, some redeeming value. So, in my opinion, most of the time, these collector's editions that come out, they're good. I mean, uh, I feel it's justified. Some people might not. Some people don't care. Some people just want the core game. They want to play it, and that's it. That's all it is for them. They don't care about the expansions. They don't care about the extras. Now, Gran Turismo Sport came out as limited edition. This one was $89. There's nothing on the inside in terms of the design when you flip it over. To be perfectly honest, this is not exactly the world's greatest steelbook. The design feels a little bit cheap. I do have a video already on how I feel about this game. I'm actually going to release another one later on. Um, so in terms of this one, what you do get is you get an 8 car starter pack, which was okay. It's not the greatest. You get 1 million in-game credits, some avatars, and so on, and a racing helmet. It claims it's a $60 value. I don't know. If you're wondering, this is the actual card inside. So this is what gets you the extra content. Um, I don't know. I don't know. It to me, it doesn't really feel worth it. The $89. I mean, it's only $10 more than the regular version, so it wasn't like I was, I overpaid or anything like that. Um, but I just felt, with this game being that Gran Turismo was 4 years in development as a special edition, um, you know, they could have they could have done something a little bit better. So overall, generally, most of the limited editions that you're seeing out there, um, they're they're doing um, so they're priced for about 129 bucks. You get the season pass, and you get if it's like a fighting game, you get the extra characters. If it's a racing game, usually you get the season pass and some cars and money. If it's like an action adventure game, you get the season pass, which is usually some sort of story add-on and stuff like that. Um, so uh, companies that I would really stay away from in terms of season passes or things like that, unfortunately, would have to be Capcom. Capcom has not proven to be the greatest, and I will do another in-depth review later on in terms of, uh, uh, of a collector's version versus, some bigger, more expensive collector's versions that came out. Um, to me, Capcom, and this is not a anti-Capcom video. I'm not bashing Capcom, but unfortunately, Capcom hasn't exactly had, and I didn't really want my video to stray towards them, but it just kind of did for a second. Capcom has not proven to be the best. They've always released games and they said, it's the only version you need, and then obviously we know that's not true. And they release, their season pass, but then it's one season pass and then two season passes you have to pay for, three season pass, and so on. It's they unfortunately have gone a little too far with this whole DLC stuff. Their collector's editions haven't been all that great recently. Um, the Street Fighter V collector's edition wasn't bad, but for the price that they were asking, which I will at some point later on talk about in another video, it wasn't worth it. The most expensive collector's edition I recently bought, well, not super recently, maybe a couple of months back, is the Tekken 7, which is about 200 bucks. It comes, and I'll review that one later on as well if you haven't had a chance to see what's inside it. It does come with a steel book. It comes with a beautiful statue of Kazuya fighting his father Heihachi. It comes in a nice box, and you get the game as well, of course. Uh, that to me is definitely one of the best uh, collector's editions out there, in my opinion. It doesn't have to be your opinion. You can all obviously, um, some of you might not even agree about it. Some of you might just be like, I'm not gonna pay, fucking 200 bucks for something like that. It's a piece of shit. It's not worth my time. The point is that collector's edition have become the norm. People are gonna buy collector's editions. They're gonna go out and they're going to pay for them. Um, most collector's edition that I have, and I have a few more, and I'll definitely uh, talk about them sometime later if you guys are interested. Most collector's editions that I've paid for are worth the money. You get the steel book and whatever. So it's not like companies are going out of their way to rip you off. I mean, obviously, if the collector's edition is garbage, the internet would come down hard on the company, and the company, would lose a lot of profit. Other companies would catch on. Let's face it. So we know companies read feedback, they take feedback. A lot of companies now have official forums, and people talk about it. So, I mean, the collector's edition that I mentioned in this video, the Gears, the Hitman, the Injustice, the Shadow of War, the Forza, and so on. In my personal opinion, they're great. If you have the money, if you're looking for something that is limited, um, I would spend the money if you want to. You're not, it's worth the extra money. But then again, the regular version, the core game version, there's nothing wrong with them. A lot of people don't care. They just want to, go out and, just buy it and play it, and that's it. One time, some people will wait for the game to even drop in price. I've done it. So, um, but overall, I would recommend most of them. I would give them an easy 8 out of 10 if we were actually to uh, do some sort of rating system out of 10. But I would highly recommend it. So yeah, so that's just a little video I wanted to talk to you guys about, and I want to say thank you for taking the time to listen, and I'll be back in my next video. Thank you.